In this video I want to see how fast I can paint a single figure using speed paints. Then once I've done that, I'm going to see how long it takes me to do 10 figures to see if there are any benefits to be had from batch painting and to see what the actual time saving is from doing batch painting. So I'm only going to be measuring the actual painting. I'm not going to measure the undercoating or the basing. So I'm starting off with the figures already undercoated and put onto the bases that I'll be using for gaming. So let's start the clock and see how long this takes. So I'm painting an English Civil War figure, and the reason for that is when I went to Devices, the Wargame show at Devices, I played a really interesting game there, an English Civil War game by a chap called Steve Jones. And it was a new game and really enjoyed it. It was quite nice because you only needed a small number of figures to actually get a game and to have an initial skirmish, which as I'm not familiar with the period, I thought that would be really good for me to get into it. So here I am finally getting around to painting up some figures that I bought down at Devices. There's a mix of Warlord Games figures and also Bicorn Miniatures figures. So as I said, I don't really know a lot about the English Civil War, so I just googled how to paint English Civil War figures, and an article came up by a chap called Goonhammer, and that's what I followed for the new model army. So they're painted in a lovely shade of red. Speaking of lovely shades, I'll just quickly run through the paint colours that I used. So as I say, mostly they're speed paints. So first of all we have Holy White and Peachy Flesh, Slaughter Red, Cloudburst Blue, Hardened Leather, Satchel Brown, Grim Black, and Silver Sword. Broadsword Silver. And finally I use a solid black for things that I don't want to have that kind of washed out look that speed paint gives them. So as we can see, the model's about halfway through. We can see it looks okay. It doesn't look, it's not going to be the best painted figure in the world, but you know, I've done an okay job, I would say. So there we go, that took 10 minutes and 14 seconds, and yeah, although you know it's not the best painted figure in the world and it's certainly not going to be winning any competitions, the thing is it's going to be on my table, which is the main thing. So now what we'll do is we'll go on and see how long it took me to paint 10 figures in a batch. But before we do that, I'd just like to say a big thank you to CMA for supporting the channel. CMA are manufacturers of resin and metal miniatures, and they've been supporting the industry for over 30 years. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon. You can join it by going onto the Patreon app and searching for Pursuit, or you can follow the link in the description below. So let's get back to seeing how long it's going to take to paint 10 figures. Okay, so here we go with our unit of 10 figures. Let's start the clock and see how long it takes. So as I said, I'll be using these figures to play Steve Jones' Civil War. It looks like an interesting set, and it has some really interesting stuff to do with campaigns, so that one game flows on to the next and your battle company kind of can grow from one game to the next. So it's a bit like on White Dwarf, they used to do these escalation leagues. I don't know if they still do, but it's that sort of idea. We start with a small unit and then over time it grows. So as you can see, I'm working my way through the figures now. They're coming along quite nicely. So one of the things I'm trying to do with this video is just show how fast you can paint a single unit. And the reason for that is that, probably like every other wargamer, I've just got so many figures squirreled away and stashed away in various places. I do have figures stashed pretty much everywhere for my lead mounting. We've got them in my nice pretty unit, got them on the shelves, got them in the Bisley unit, we've got them up in the loft in various boxes and things. So yeah, they are. I've just got them squirreled away everywhere. So I need to make a big dent on the lead mounting, and I'm never going to do that if I'm trying to paint everything to a top class standard, which is why with this video I'm just trying to show how quickly you can sort of turn something around and get something on the table, hopefully to an adequate standard, but we'll see how it's looking at the end. Anyway, let's have a look and see how the figures are coming along. So, isn't that interesting? It took me almost exactly an hour to paint 10 miniatures, as opposed to 10 minutes to paint a single miniature. So, overall, that's a save. That means that it's sort of 6 minutes a figure rather than 10 minutes a figure, which is a significant saving, right? So the whole point of this was to sort of see what they looked like on the table rather than up close. So here's some shots of them in action, as it were. As you can see, to my eyes, they look okay. I think they're going to be perfectly good on the table as they are. I think they look absolutely fine. And the important thing is they're on the table and not in a little box somewhere. Anyway, do please pause the video for a moment and just add a comment letting me know what you think. You know, should figures really be beautifully painted? Is that the most important thing? Or is it good enough just to have them on the table and ready to go? Is on the table better than in the storage box? Anyway, you decide. Tell me in the comments. And thanks ever so much for watching, and hopefully see you soon.